Hello everybody, this is a screen capture video with the intent to show you the important areas of this particular class page, as well as where you can find your assignments and the most important thing that you need to do in the first week of class is to sign the course contract, and that will unlock all of the future modules. So bear with me for a couple of moments as I acquaint you with our course. So when you enter our course, you'll find yourself here on the home page, and the home page is updated every Monday to show you the current week's announcements. They're listed by module, but each module lasts 1 week. So you can click on the icon and it will take you to Vimeo, and that will take you to the announcement for this week. I'm going to back myself up to go back to our home page, and as I do that, I want to stress the importance of watching the video announcement every week. It contains useful information about how to succeed on course assignments. It contains some supplemental information about how to best plan your time and how to understand assignment instructions and how to fulfill assignment requirements. So that's a very important and required part of this course. So please make a habit of visiting the current announcement as soon as you enter the course at the start of each week. Once you've done that, what I suggest that you do is to click into the modules tab to look at the assignments for the current week. But before I do that with you on this video, I want to show you what else is here on this home page. The other thing that's here is your link to the Q&A board, where you can ask any questions that you have, and I check that often, and you'll get a reply from me within 24 hours. When you click on that icon, you'll enter into the Q&A discussion board, and what you'll see here is that you can post whatever question you have by clicking on reply. But what I want to point out to you here is this subscribe button. I want to recommend that all of you subscribe to this Q&A board, even if you have not yet posted a question. The Q&A board is basically the equivalent in a live class of any moment when a student raises their hand and says, "Hey, I have a question," and the instructor answers it. So just like in a live class, oftentimes other students really benefit from hearing what questions are raised by others, and so that's why I recommend that everybody subscribe to the Q&A board. I would require it if there was any way for me to hold you accountable for that, but there isn't. But your accountability will be being in the know about anything that is brought up that needs clarification. I want to come back to the home page for the last time before I move on to the modules tab, and I want to just show you that at the bottom of every homepage new announcement, I have over the past few semesters collected tips that students have written to future students about how to succeed in this class. So I recommend that you read them. You know, you might find them insightful, you might find them encouraging, and you might find them sometimes to be a good peer voice to kind of scoot you in a better direction at some times. Finally, the last thing is that there are a couple of shortcuts to get into the modules tab. So the main way to access the modules tab is by clicking over here on the sidebar on the left, but I've also gone ahead and made a hyperlink within this home page. So you can either click on these words or click over here to get into the modules page. Now the modules page will be your second most frequented page in this class, as it includes every assignment that you need to complete, whether those are graded assignments or reading assignments or viewing assignments. It is also the place where you will submit every assignment that you have to do this semester. Now I'm scrolling down slowly. You can see, I'm going to scroll back up for a second. This is Module 1, which was where we'll begin this week. But if you scroll down further, you're going to see that all of the future modules are grayed out for you. And you're not going to have access to any future module until you read, sign, and submit the class contract. Now, I recommend that you read through these other materials, especially the syllabus, so that you can see what you're in for in this particular section of professional writing, that you understand my very strict and high-level grading standards, as well as some of these hints that I have included for you. And I also want to really encourage you at the beginning of this first week to take a look at this description of the semester-long project that we'll be working on. This class is structured so that you work on a number of different writing assignments, all framed within one consistent and ongoing project. So please check this out. If it's something that sounds like absolute torture to you, you have this week to drop and add into a different section of this class. Not all of the instructors for this class teach the same exact course, so you have some options there. And you are always at choice, so you can choose to be in a class section that will be interesting to you. Now, once you've done that, you're going to come down here and click on this place, and you're going to need to download the course contract, and you can click right on this icon to do so. It should only take a moment, and I'm going to open it up. You're going to need to do the same thing. I will recommend, as with any contract that you ever sign in your life, that you read this very carefully before signing it. But what I'm going to do is just show you very quickly how to go about doing that, how to reload it into the course, which is the same procedure that you will need to do when you're submitting your written assignments. And then I also want to go back to the modules page to show you that once you've submitted this course contract, all of the other modules unlock for you. And at that point, you can take a look at everything that you'll be in for this semester and either get really excited about it or make plans to join a different section. So we'll just bear with my computer as it loads up this document. So the beginning of it is everything that I promised to do for you as your instructor, and the ending of it is everything that I expect that you promise to do as a student in this class. And my signature is here, and what you will need to do is to add your name. So let's say your name is Ann Smith. So you'll need to add your name, you'll need to add the date. I am not going to be very picky at all about this formatting, but just to get in the habit, you might as well get rid of that extra line that came in there. And then what you'll need to do is to save it in some place that you can find it easily. I'm going to throw it here on my desktop, and then what you will do is you'll reload it up into the course. So to do that, you'll click on Submit Assignment. Like I said, this is the same procedure that you'll need to follow for many of your written assignments for this class. A couple of them are submitted in a different way, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. You can add some comments here if you want to, but you don't need to. What's most important is that you press Submit Assignment. And after you submit anything for this class, it's your responsibility to make sure that it was submitted. And the way that you do that is by looking over here in the corner, and you can see the name of the file. I highly recommend that you double check the name of the file that was uploaded with the name of the file that you intended to upload. You might also want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this entire page, especially including the date and timestamp of its submission. It hardly ever happens that there's a problem with Canvas actually taking your work and allowing me to see it, but if there ever is, then you have absolute proof that it was submitted on time. So now that that has been submitted, I want to go back into the modules page and show you how that has unlocked all of the other course content. And I'm going to scroll down here past Module 1, which we already saw, and now we can see Module 2, Module 3, etc., etc. As you may notice, the course announcements have also been placed here for you. So you can access them through the home page, or you can access them through the modules page. Doesn't matter to me how you access them, but it is very important that you do access them. I'm able to see what you access in this course, so if you're not accessing the module announcements and you miss important parts of the assignment requirements and you ask for some leniency, you're certainly not going to get it if you're not doing your job of reading all the course materials that are available to you. So that's that. Once you have unlocked the rest of the course content, I recommend that you go through, take a look at the deadlines. Please notice that our class runs on it's a bad week to choose because we have a holiday then. Our course runs from Monday to Sunday. All assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday. If you're taking this class with the intention of only working on it over the weekend, please pay attention to the section in the Module 1 announcement which has special tips for you about how to succeed with that strategy. It's not the best strategy for taking an online class, in particular this one, but it's possible to make it work. And in short, what that means is in the first couple of weeks of this class, you need to get ahead a week so that you're actually doing the work a week ahead. And that allows you time during the week to get help or ask questions and then to post your work the weekend that it's due, rather than to work on your work the weekend that it's due and post it. You'll produce much higher quality work by following that advice. So that's it. I welcome you to this class. I'm skipping over these last two sections here. This is where you'll come to see your grades, and if you ever need to chat and we're online at the same time, we can do that there. I will post another video in a couple of weeks when you have your first written assignment due to show you exactly how that process will work. Until then, if you have any questions, go to the Q&A board, which you can always access from the home page, and get started. I look forward to working with all of you, and I am delighted to answer your questions so that I may help you succeed in this class. So by all means, if you have questions, ask them, and make sure that you're looking at all of the course materials that are available for you, especially in the modules tab. Make sure that you read through everything very carefully that is included in module 1. Also, just FYI before I sign off here, if your book is en route, you need to have it in hand for sure by the beginning of module 2, because the first unit test is on chapters 1, 2, and 4. Copyright restrictions are only allowing me to post chapter 1 and chapter 2 for you. So that will get you through week 1, but it's your responsibility to have your book in hand, and if you don't have it in hand, to connect with classmates in order to borrow, or to check the library to see if they have a copy there. All right, be well. Ask me questions if you have them. Looking forward to this semester. Bye-bye.